Hi guys, Thogrey here with a new video, and this video will talk about Season 3 and a bit of a reflection video, the good, the bad and the ugly. Um, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to jump right in the video, but be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like those kinds of content. Comment below what you think about the video, and of course like the video if you like the video. You can join me live on stream probably 2 times, 3 times a week, and of course we are still continuing making daily videos. So, the good. Let's talk about the good on Season 3. Season 3 has been an easy like an easy patch, to be honest, to actually alt for PvP, because to be honest, if you want to play DH Havoc and really you want then to switch to warlock, that should not be a problem, because you have conquest boxes, you have your conversions from soul, like your cosmic flux to soul ash and soul cinders. Now you can like send soul cosmic flux from a character to another. You have also the conquest boxes, like I said. I think the only thing that actually is missing is the honor like transfers. So you like the same as conquest boxes, but more about honor boxes. Like for example, so you'll convert 350 honor to 300 honor, for example. That should maybe be implemented, but like season 2, season 3 has been probably the one of the best patches to actually alt. So that's a good thing. Another good thing is probably the implementation of double legendaries and forces. It does give a bit of life to certain specs. In certain specs have like no real added value for them in PvP. Like I'm thinking about fire mages, for example. Double legendary doesn't do too much. It helps, but it really, you could play with one legendary, like your class legendary, that would be enough. Or for example, if you're playing, I don't know, man, like Forset or without Forset, the mages probably only play like without Forset, for example. So those things are quite good for the game because it adds flavor. But now let's go to the bad. The power levels are crazy. Now that's a little bad thing, but we can go back to the good. Everything feels like crazy. And whenever everything feels crazy, it does remind me about Wrath of the Lich King, does remind me about Mist of Pandaria, which are probably two of the best PvP MMOs that you had, like expansion wise. I think Shadowlands is really a top 4, top 3 expansion. I saw the video from Xaryu, I like 100% agree. I feel like if season 1 had not Torghast or that Covenant BS, like that you couldn't switch Covenants like easily, you had to wait 2 weeks, for example, and also your time gated for your levels on your Covenants, for example. You had no conquest boxes, so alting was very difficult. Without that, and if season 1 had the implementation from season 2 and season 3, I think season 1 would be the best patch in the history of World of Warcraft, but that was not the case. The patch was also very long, so it did react super slowly on a lot of things. So yeah, that made a bit of a rough start, I would say, for Shadowlands. And then a lot of people quit because like season 2 was not what they wanted, was not what they expect, and then season 3 began also in a decline because again, double legendaries and foresight are very good, but a lot of people were like in habit of having only one legendary. So I feel like a lot of people have like misconceptions about Shadowlands. So for me, it's a top 3, top 4 expansion, but everything feels crazy. So that's a good thing. I like when every spec can actually feel crazy. I feel like the few specs that are not feeling crazy are quite D tier. Like if you're thinking about Arcane, it is not really crazy. It has some cheese builds, but it's not crazy. Frost Decay, not crazy. Mistweavers, they are not crazy, they are average. Disc Priest, not crazy, they are average. Um, what classes are not crazy anymore? Like, and then I'm thinking about some crazy stuff that some specs has. Like, for example, enhancement shaman maybe doesn't feel as crazy as other classes or specs, but you do have crazy stuff. For example, chain harvest is quite crazy. Doomwind is quite crazy. You have crazy off healing, which was something good. Now everyone can off heal stupidly, like for example, fire mage, but they have crazy stuff. Everything has a crazy stuff, and that's a good thing. And I hope with Dragonflight they normalize the crazy stuff a bit lower, and you power those average specs towards that A tier that you want. You don't want classes at S tier. You don't want classes at B or D tier or C tier. You want classes at A tier, where it feels competitive versus a few specs, and then it is a little bit less good versus other specs. And then you have like a competitive meta where you have a lot of things that are viable, which Shadowlands has. To be honest, there is a lot of comms that works. You can even make Beastcleave work, because back in the day it was very good. Now it becomes better, but it's not on par with other comms, which is alright. You cannot have everything got here, but that makes a game live and good. So now we can discuss about the bad. The bad, really, I feel that they really missed opportunities on season 3 to make it better, and I feel like they time gated the 4 set. That was very bad. They also time gated the double legendary, which was also very bad, because that's all PvE. That's all for PvE what they did. They should not have done that. They did for like wait a bit too long for conquest boxes. They did wait a bit too long for those cosmic flux transfers. They did wait a bit too long, and that made the population dwindle down and made it worse and worse. What is also bad is that season 3 is not the last season. And season 4 looks like a filler season. A lot of people will not play in season 4, because what is the reason to play on season 4? To be honest, we have like now talents reveal for Dragonflight. Who wants to play with the current talents? Who wants to play with the covenant systems anymore? Who wants to play with legendaries? Like for me, my motivation for playing season 4 is really low. I might make maybe a video about season 4 on how they might do that, or make it good, or make it worthwhile. But for now, we have so little info about season 4, except the fated raids. But that's not PvP. For PvP, you got nothing except a new title, except maybe a new way. But they're not testing anything. I hope they will do that. But for now, with Dragonflight Alpha and with Wrath of the Lich King probably pre patch coming soon, I feel like Shadowlands is dying and dying and dying, and that's a bad thing. I would want to put it in ugly, but really there is worse. But the bad is really they dropped the ball on season 3. They didn't make it last season. Now last season is season 4, and there is no real balance changes coming on. There is no real taste on season 4. You don't know what you can expect on season 4. And I hope they will do tests. That they are bold, but for me, I feel like they're not going to do that because they don't have the time to do that. And season 4 is pretty much a filler season, which you will have more eye level, probably more transmog farms or mount farms. I don't care, but they will add something, and those fated raids might be cool for PvE, but for PvP, it doesn't add anything to us. So, yeah, that's the bad for me. Season 3 feels like an end of the season, which is not an end of the season. So it makes that it dwindles down, and you know it's not over, man. And what's good about end of season or end of expansion patches is it dwindles down, but you know soon, in 1 or 2 months, we got pre-patch, and here we go again, like the population is going up. So that's a good thing. But now we don't have that. So that's the bad. The ugly, now the most ugly thing that they did in season 3 is make Holy Priest basically a 50% play rate. Class, spec, whatever, man. They should not have done that. They should have put the healers back on the same level. For me, that's the biggest ugly thing that they could have made, because now I'm a disc priest, for example. I have difficulties finding groups as a healer because now they just compare me with holy priest. There was never ever been a season where a certain type of DPS or healer has been so dominated in one patch. Season 2 was already difficult. Like, Holy Priest was still a good thing because it was safe. But Season 3, how they made that is disgusting. And you can say that it is the only healer able to heal through this meta, but that's actually not true. Resto Druid are actually very great. Resto Shaman, they are meh. They got like no healing throughput. But really, if they got like one or two buffs, they would have been good. Same for Disc Priest, same for Mistweaver, where for 3 seasons we actually demanded some kind of damage. Some kind of damage, because that's the real thing that is really lacking for Mistweavers to be actually fun. Now it is a throughput healer that actually has difficulty throughputing because it has like 3 GCDs before it does actual meaningful healing. And then you get silenced, interrupted, chased down, dead. That's what happens to Mistweavers. Although now, whenever you play like with casters, of course Mistweavers are able to cast, but is it fun? You don't have any added value. You need to leg sweep sometimes, and whenever you leg sweep, you are like in a position where you can get CC'd, and then it's pretty much game over if you don't have a trinket or rolled hearts or whatever. Paralyze, it is a very good tool, very nice, but it breaks on damage. It's the same as a polymorph, but it is more risky to do as a healer. And that's why, if you don't like Paralyze, you got Chastise from Holy Priest. And Chastise stun, it is not breakable. It has a range stun, then can do greater fade and then get a fear off of it, which is not also breakable on damage. It does break on damage, but it's not like instant breakable. And that makes like H priest like over the top good. They have good healing. Healing throughput is very good, except maybe AoE, but in arenas doesn't happen as often to get like AoE cleaved down. Now it's pretty much like single target, you're going to get killed or not. CC over the top, damage over the top. Did you already got holy fired for 20k? I did. I got 20k holy fired. And that's disgusting. I guess it's alright because it is the damage of which people are doing these days. But H-Priest is the only class or spec or healing spec that actually has that. And so that's disgusting. Self-defense. They can jump in the sky, they can like holy ward themselves, they can grade a fade, they can survive with Guardian Spirit, they can reset their serenities with multiple things. They have also a self-res. That's the most ugly thing since Shadowlands was live, is the res thing. Why didn't they remove it in PvP? It was an easy fix. You can't res, or you can't get health with your res. So you can have res, but you will res with 10% HP in PvP regardless of the amount of healing you're doing. That would have been something balanced, because you have a second chance and your DPS just needs to CC or do whatever they can to actually help you. But now, whenever you have the res Lego, what are you doing as a DPS? You're actually running, or you're CCing, or you're trying to wait for the HPs to come back. And so you are incentivized to not do damage and get like shit on by the other DPSs while you actually got the kill on the healer. So that's a very bad, ugly thing, man. They should not have done that, man. They should have like fixed it ages ago. I don't care about nerfs. I just want like the other healers to feel as great as H priests. I don't want to make H priest main X feel bad because we got like the nerfs that they actually deserve, but that we nerfed them. No, I want that healer Holy Priest X that feels great can also shake their hand of Resto Druid B that got buffs and that is actually happy because of the buffs. Same for mistweaver, same for resto shaman. So all those things as a healer makes also the population dwindle down, because now the difficulty is, where are the healers? Where is the actual competition for healers? Because now whenever you're disc, they ask you to go holy priest. They literally after one loss say, you know, this game would be easier if you went H-Priest, while to be honest it was a DPS fault. But you should switch to H-Priest to make us a bit easier to heal or make it easier to survive, but it is definitely easier if you actually switched. I don't want to live that in Dragonflight. I don't want to have someone actually say, look, maybe you should switch spec because your spec sucks, man. That's terrible to have. So that's the most ugly thing that Shadowlands already produced. That people are actually asking to other healers to just go H Priest. Disc Priest, I got the same thing for my Mistweaver Monk. People told me to go H Priest. On my Resto Druid, they said, I don't know if I'm going to take a Resto Druid as a LSD. LSD, yeah, LSD. It is meant to be with a Druid. We prefer to wait for a H-Priest. 30 minutes later, they get their H-Priest. 30 minutes. So I don't get it. Please stop this madness. I hope Dragonflight fixes that. But really, Season 3 has been a ride. I think the promises were good, because there is good things, but it is undermined by a lot of things in the bad section and in the ugly section. So I don't know. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Again, this is more of a negative video. I don't like to make negative videos, that's why there is a good section. But I wanted to do a reflection on the Season 3, because I feel like not everyone is liking the Season 3 iteration, and they know that Season 4 is coming and it's pretty much the same. So let me know in the comment section below. Like the video if you like the video. Please take a look in the description. You got also a new link where you can be member of the channel. You get cool perks like emojis, but also on my chats you can also have some privileges, and we will try to find some good privileges for those members. I would definitely like appreciate if someone would be so generous to become a member and help me out with my YouTube channel. Again, thank you for watching this channel. Again, I can't thank you enough, and we will see each other very soon.